What's up, guys? Today we're talking to somebody who I've been wanting to get on the channel. A true entrepreneur promoting entrepreneurial spirit and mindset, somebody who's very ambitious. Let's get straight into it. We got Roosevelt, Alonzo,
Bly the
third, getting straight to it. Where are you from?
Yeah, I moved around a lot, but I claim Florida, a little bit of Mississippi too. Yeah, my dad, he always lived in Mississippi, so I always visit there. So heavy ties there. Yeah, literally Alabama, Mississippi. Look, we got family in Louisiana.
Yeah, you mentioned your dad. I was gonna ask you, family wise, are you like a family man? Do you got a lot of siblings? You said you're a third.
Yeah. So strong family ties. Yeah, my father, I joke with people. I say like it's like my mom. 'Cause he's just so affectionate at the same time. So like, I feel like I was like before it got popping, like the LeVar family, the Ball family. So I consider that's like my dad. Like, he'll pop up to all the little meets.
So you got a close relationship with your father.
Most definitely.
Could you talk about the importance of having that relationship with your father and how it impacted you?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be the same person I am today. Like I just remember just like I appreciate the way he raised me in the sense that he gave me options growing up. So I feel like some parents are like strict, like, hey, listen, you're not gonna do this. It's my way or the highway. My father, he was kind of like, if you want to go out and party, you can. I mean, you young, but we're still gonna get up at 4 a.m. and train. So we're gonna work your body, work your mind, and that's his thing. So yeah.
It is Mother's Day today, so yeah, I know it's kind of looking bad, but yeah.
No, man.
Could you describe your relationship with your mother?
Right. Look, so yeah, moms. Look, I got a lot of women in my family too. And I don't get too like dad gets the pops. I mean, he gets the props, but it's the women. It's definitely the women. 'Cause like moms, I remember like work ethic. She was like big on that. I remember like quitting too. Like one thing that I regretted most of anything was just when I was in football, I was a little kid. We were like really good at like our football. We went to like the state championship game. I got frustrated because they took me out of my regular position. I'm supposed to be like safety or whatever. And yeah, they moved me to the front line. I got mad. I quit. My mom was like, if you quit, you're going to regret it forever. And she took me out of that football. And ever since then, it was like I had the biggest regret of like, man, like if I quit on anything, it's like it's so close to like giving up on your dreams.
It's funny you mentioned your mom as far as talking about your dreams. I saw in past interviews your mom mentioned the pay. What does she think about 10th University?
10th University. My mom's kind of hard on me in the sense that like she's happy that I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, but her whole thing is like she's a long-term thinker. And so it's almost flip roles. Like dad is like short term, but like as long as you got foundation, you're good. Mom is like, I'm looking at the deep picture and like where do I see you from now? So she was like, you need to add some money in there. You need to get some sponsorship. And so for me, it was like, I'm already doing the podcast. I'm interviewing people, speaking to black-owned business owners, and feeling good about it. But she was like, you need to have a way of funding, your passion. So that's where it came into like the videography. And she loves that. She likes to see her baby, doing things.
What are some of your goals with 10th University?
Yes. So I'm big into like writing my goals down. So like even like if a person looked at my notebook, they would think like this is a madman. Like goals for reaching the youth, goals for reaching like business owners that have their own business, goals for like how to reach startups. So I really just want to have it in people's mind when they think of like I'm a black-owned business. Where do I go to get seen? I got to get on the 10th University podcast.
As far as writing down goals, can you talk about the importance of writing down goals?
Yes. So I think I got this from Kobe Bryant, just because he's one of the most like meticulous people I've ever experienced or like even studied, observing everything around me and trying to gain as many tools as possible from the environment. So with my goals, like I write down my daily goals of just like stuff I'll do every day. Just meditate, reach out to a guest, just get 1% better at question asking. So just, yeah, I write down goals every day.
You mentioned meditation. You're somebody who's big in entrepreneurial mindset and mental health. This is something that you talked about previously. Is there any, like, would you like to go deeper into mental health, and what do you think about it? Is it more environmental, or is it?
Yo, definitely, man. So just being an entrepreneur, it's against the grain. So like I try to tell people recently, like it's similar to learning how to surf. Being able to balance that in your life, you're never gonna have those moments where it's nothing going on. So you're always gonna, be on guard. But yeah, to your question, being an entrepreneur is not easy. Being a human being in America and taking care of yourself is, it's not easy all the time. So yeah, meditation is one of the ways that like it helps me like calm my mind, because without it, it's like there's nothing to ground me, besides my faith and like just my practice. So for me, I push meditation because you don't really hear about it, or the few people you do hear about it, they're a little weird, or they're a little standoffish. You like, I can't relate to that person. So I just wanted to show like, I can be a real person, work a corporate job, and really get down there and just take a deep breath.
You talked about faith. Did you grow up in the church?
Yeah, so grew up in the church. Went to like a couple different churches. So I feel like I went to your non-denominational churches. I was trying not to say white church, but went to some of them. Went to some black churches where it's like, hey, this is Baptist. We don't even do the new songs, the Kirk Franklin. It's all like hymns. So yeah,
Oof. So what brings you to Texas, and what do you think of the Dallas area, and what are some of your goals in the Dallas area?
Definitely. So Texas, I'm a little spontaneous. Like I remember I talked to you about like just skydiving of all things. Like that just came on a whim of just like, hey, let's do it. So you know what? Let's do it. I know we black and it was different, but let's do it. So same thing with my tattoo. So my friend, he just suggested like, hey, like I'm moving to Florida. I'm moving to Texas. I think you should come. I think you be able to grow a little faster. And I was living out of home, living with my parents after I graduated college. So I was like, yeah, why not?
Cool. Goals in Dallas specifically?
Yeah, so goals, I would say.
You mentioned videography. So
Yeah, definitely. So I want to get to the point where I'm just completely comfortable with the camera. When anybody got an idea, I can make it come to life. So yeah, I'm just trying to get reps in that area. Just trying to build like my foundation here, because I started in Tallahassee, and that was fun because it was like I would meet with like the pillars of the community, speak to them, some business owners, some startups, some people that just had like some potential on college campus. And so like I just trying to figure out how to figure out ways to branch off in this Dallas area.
Okay. When you wake up, what motivates you?
Motivates me. I say just the drive of just trying to get everything I can out of life. Like, like I'm just trying to experience as much as I can. I want to travel more, want to, take more risks. Even with this, it was just kind of came out of nowhere. Hey, you want to do an interview? Let's do it, So, yeah.
Okay. You mentioned, or I don't know if you mentioned FAMU. Could you talk about your experience at FAMU?
FAMU, shout out to my Rattlers,
All right.
But yeah, FAMU was it was my love, man. That was like some of the greatest years of my life. Just because, it was like the connections, the networking, the seeing black people that were like-minded all in one place, and it was no drama. I didn't even imagine that. So yeah, so I'm one of the people that I go back every homecoming.
And then where's FAMU located for the viewers?
Oh, FAMU's in Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee, Florida, the capital.
Okay, just make sure. Gotta educate them. Who's Joe Looney or Joey Looney?
No, you got to write Joe Looney. So Joe Looney is my cousin. Another reason why I moved out to Dallas because he's my cousin. He played for the NFL. He was in the NFL for like 7 or 9 years. I had a couple little viral little moments with really only like your family will realize that like, oh, that's you did that. But yeah, he's like a superhero in the family. So anytime we see him, it's just like bring your best game and just try to absorb as much as you can from him. And the thing about it is like when you talk to him, you think he's gonna tell you all these exciting things, and he's like, he's gonna tell you about the word of God. Like that's just him.
Talk about what your podcast means to you. You've had a ton of guests on. You went to a lot of brick and mortar buildings that are all Black owned. So yeah, just describe what your podcast means to you and where you would like to take it.
Yeah, man. So the podcast means a lot to me, and just because like where it came from, the origin story. So the podcast came in the middle of COVID. And basically with COVID, it was like 40% of Black-owned businesses were shutting down at the time that I was doing the podcast. So I was like, how is a way that I could reach out to, help Black businesses? And that kind of grew to like taking pictures at Black-owned businesses or asking guests what's their favorite Black-owned business. And they would literally take a ride there, do a car interview. And then give them a shout out at the end. So, like doing all of those, I feel like it was my way of like giving back. And another thing is I read this book called The Go-Giver. And the biggest thing was like every leader should have a way to serve people. So for me, it was like, how can I reach the most people and just give a positive message? Even if it's business, it's still value to people. And at the same time, we talk about some of the mental health, and I just see in the long term being like a safe haven for like Black-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm. Could you speak on the entrepreneurial struggle? You talked about it being a safe haven. There has to be a reason for you wanting to create a safe haven. So could you just talk about entrepreneurial struggles that you face personally or that you've seen in the community?
Yeah, man. For me personally, I didn't really tap into like my gift was like networking. My gift was like being a platform, being invested. So I didn't really start making money until I started picking up a camera and doing videography. But for me, it was just like speaking to different Black-owned businesses in general. That's my dog. Yeah, a big struggle is just like how to market themselves. A lot of times people try to keep it professional and they try to, just do what they see on paper or what the giant businesses are doing and not knowing that just being unique, like that'll get you further than just, being a print and copy place.
Now, kind of a controversial question. Could you see yourself selling 10th University?
Eesh, that's a tough question.
Distant future, could you see yourself?
No, I mean honestly, the goal is eventually become a network where it's not just me interviewing; it's other people speaking to the business owners or whatever they're doing, and just having more hands on deck. So yeah, eventually it is supposed to have like an exit plan for me, where I might just focus on growing the business and reaching new heights. But yeah, so yeah, eventually it could be sold.
We're not going to stay here too much longer, but talk about some of the guests that you've had on. I saw Fab, and y'all talked about doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, so yeah, we did that, man. So shout out to Fab. That was the second person I interviewed when I moved to Dallas. We were since the rebrand of 10th University. But yeah, like, it just happened. Like midway in the interview, we started talking about story writing, and I've studied comedy just to get better at public speaking, and he's always wanted to become, a stand-up comedian. So, I was like, hey, this is to give me practice to be on stage. And at the same time for him, like, this is him working his passion. So I was like, yeah, I'm down. But yeah, so some of the guests, we've had some like really good guests in the past too. Like one of the guests is Zach. He basically had it's called a Safe Buddy. It was kind of like a way to help a way to help defeat sex trafficking, and me end up selling the company for like $500,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen you had some big guests on there. Definitely surprised me a few times. Who could you say one of your favorite guests are? Like,
Yeah. Two of them. One of them, her name was Tiffany. She just killed the interview. She just came ready, and I really feel like, shout out to the ladies. I feel like they're the most prepared guests I've ever had. But no, yeah, Tiffany, and also Stretch Life. His real name is Nick, but we all call him Stretch Life. But yeah, he was probably the most like authentic. The advice he gave. And even behind the cameras, he was the first one to tell me, hey, I got extra mics. I see you wanted to do this. You were doing it off your phone. Here you go. He really jump-started everything.
Hey, we're gonna get into the stand-up comedy, but you talked about the rebrand. So I did notice that the channel started to change. Just go more into that rebrand. What do you envision as far as rebranding, or what is changing exactly?
My thing was exploring different options and trying different things. And even now, I don't want my audience to, get bored, so I switch locations. Some of the things that the feedback I would get from other people, I kind of took that into account, like the audio or the music was too loud, because on my podcast I have background music. So it's just little details that needed to be addressed that, I feel like it take it a little longer. Yeah.
Could you see yourself branching out, doing other kind of content creation? Like, I always ask artists, could you see yourself doing content creation? But it's the other way around for you. So could you see yourself branching out and maybe acting or making films?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely open-minded. Like, somebody this week, they told me I should do a documentary. And I was like, man, I never thought about that until now. So I was like, but yeah, so yeah, I want to try that. I want to try some interviews where I'm behind the camera, different certain businesses, just keep it everything, the image they want to show. So acting, short films, of course. But yeah.
Okay. Like I said, we're gonna wrap it up soon. So last question. Talk about stand-up comedy.
Oh, you talking about performance?
I'm talking about your performance.
Ooh, went on stage. Man, it was nerve-wracking. Of course, I'm always add more pressure onto it. So it's my first stand-up comedy. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's invite that cute girl you've been wanting to, invite. Let's tell all your homies, hey, yes, I'm super funny. And it worked out. Little turbulence at some points, but it's definitely an experience. Something I'll definitely do again. So, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. What do you think about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef?
Hey, I'm biased. I know who won the fight, but I'm not gonna say his name. But I'm gonna say is Drake. Drake, keep going. Just keep going. Just keep posting. In 2 weeks, they'll forget about it, and just keep going, man.